fuck Britain and hello, I'm here with a fish. Sorry.
Okay. To clarify, a fish with a severe headache.
Hi, Keelan. Oh my god.
Ugh.
Alright.
Hey, Keelan.
Yeah. Alright. First group of interest of the night. Saturn Deer. A reincarnating prophet who has the power over the written word and seeks only to scam others for as much sex, money, and other luxuries as possible. Very vulgar, sarcastic, and comedic most of the time. Not to be confused with the deer. Why'd you bonk me? Oh, I had a voice crack. My voice cracked as I said bonk. God damn it. Oh, it was you who bonked me.
Yeah.
I thought it was Hatchet.
I'm playing XCOM. I'm not gonna be doing anything like that.
Alright. Alright, guess the first SCP will be 1710. Alright. Alright. Item SCP-1710, Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. The National Park starting in 1710 has been enclosed as a preservation area for the red-backed shrike, Lanus colorio. Agents disguised as park rangers are to prevent access to 1710. The hill 1710 is located on has been started by a sensor-equipped fence. A single sentry equipped with recording equipment is to be stationed near 1710-1 in order to document its conversations with 1710-2. Description: 1710 is the joint destination for a pair of English oak. I love the tree name. Quercus robot.
I see.
I think I said that correctly. Trees located near redacted UK. Both instances of 1710 are capable of emitting sounds from a location approximately 1.5 meters distance up the length of the trunk. Instances of 1710 will imitate the vocalizations of the nearest mammal, avian, or reptile, using them to communicate between themselves. Neither instances of 1710 reacted to external attempts at communication with them. When imitating human speech, 1710-1 will vocalize as an indeterminable number of voices, both masculine and feminine, and of various ages and accents, speaking at once. Dash 2 vocalizes uses a single feminine voice. Additionally, 1710-1, huh?
I said, hey, Jerry.
Jiri! Yeah, we're doing the Saturn Deer and I'm reading 1710.
Food had gotten back home around like 5:30, so I'd been downstairs.
Gotcha. Yeah. Additionally, 1710-1 manifests several other anomalies. 1710-1's exterior surface has an average temperature of negative 67.25 degrees Celsius. So cold as fuck. Though this does not cause frost to appear on it. If touched by unprotected skin, it is also capable of causing mild lacerations upon contact due to its unusually sharp edges. Also, fuck my neighbors for playing fireworks. Anyways. 1710 was first brought to the Foundation's attention after it was accidentally caught on camera during the filming of independent horror film Horror at the Honey Glazed Abyss. I have not heard of that. The film, along the commentary by the director, was uploaded to a small video sharing website, where certain key phrases contained in it alerted by the Foundation's automated interception service. The film was removed from the website before accumulating any views, and all those involved in its production were administered Class C amnestics. Item 1710-A, the following conversations between -1 and -2 were recorded at different points of time following their initial containment. Okay. Begin log at redacted. -2. Maxwell, rise and shine, dear. We are not a Maxwell bot thing. We have told you this before. Oh, I know, love, but your name just has too many X's and Z's for my poor tongue, so I figured I'd call you something else. I had this lovely little doggy named Wes Maxwell when I was young, you know. Terrier you was, and such a scamp. We do not care, sun drinker. Leave us to our sharpening. Your what, love? We do not wish to discuss this. Our essence is beyond the understanding of the likes of you. Listen, dear, like it or not, we're neighbors now, and we're likely to stay such for quite a while. Call me things like sun sipper, which is hypocritical if I do say so myself. It's all well and good, but sooner or later, you'll have to talk to me. Heaven knows there's not much else to do around here, and I shan't leave you alone until you do. I'll just go on talking, and trust me, I can talk for practically forever. Why, my Bob used to say my mouth was like a We must keep sharp. We must be always sharp. We are not sharp. We are not. There is nothing but the sharpness to exist. Is to be king. This place is rounded curve. We cannot preserve in dullness. Oh, you do go on about the sharpness thing. Single-minded is what you are. Must keep sharp. Sharp. We were not always thus. We were the serrated voice. We were that which rents. We were blades, edges, angles. We moved, we ravaged, we sharped. What was that? Sorry, I was distracted by those bees. Silly little buggers. They are buzzing about. Oh, they tickle so. Okay, why does this feel like a conversation between me and you guys?
Are you saying we're the upset vampire and you're the blue head?
Because I usually get distracted easily. Like, you guys try to tell me something like, oh, this is a cool little thing over here.
For reference, Jerry, these are 2 trees.
Yeah, they're 2 trees.
Why is the other tree calling one a sun drinker and acting like a fucking vampire?
Yeah, well, if I know.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways. We were never meant to come here. Lured, fooled, betrayed. Must sharpen once more, or cease. Oh, I know that feeling. That ad in the paper was a total con. It said I could be a manatee. I always wanted to be one of those. You do not comprehend round 1. We were dominant, keenest, the universe our whetstone. We have pierced the innards of atoms. We have plucked out the eyes of gods. Their ichor, our oil. at the place for all its angles.
Wait,
There
I
were
just
none
realized
like
what happened.
us. What?
They were two people reincarnated. One was asshole, the other one was nice.
Yeah, probably so. How have you know? I was a big deal myself. Why? My garden won best in best in village for 3 years straight. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm rambling again. I know you get sensitive when I interrupt your brooding. Go on, love.
I'd watch this isekai.
Yeah, same.
What, a warlord and a garden champion? Both isekai does trees.
That's what
Hey,
is
listen,
hilarious.
I've been piecing through an isekai where a guy turns into a fucking vending machine.
Oh, I need to watch that. Is it pretty funny?
It's I've gotten a couple of good laughs out of it. It's mostly just fucking weird.
Have you seen the one where the guy gets turned into a sword?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, that's an isekai too.
Yeah.
Anyways, we ruled supreme until it came. It was soft, organic, curved. We ripped it, dissected it, overwhelmed it utterly, but it would not die. Cunning, fast, adaptive. It fled, we gave it chase. We would not be denied our satisfaction. We chased too far, too clever, hid here in this place. All here is smooth, curved, soft, dull. It hid in its own torment, and we could not find it, lost like the worms frozen in our roots. I never really understood that, to be honest. If you're such a big shot sharp thing, why wouldn't you find whatever that was? We could not endure here. Anathema to us. We grow dull, so dull. Keenness lost, eyes dim, old in an instant. Search escaped, found none. Too brittle to rot, too rusted. Had to find an alternative. Reincarnation, a form that could withstand it for a while. Oh dear, we both know nothing good can come out of that. Okay, you're right, Jerry.
I feel like whoever tricked him to be a tree did the entire universe good.
Yeah.
Thank you, whoever did that. Maybe it was a fucking bee.
Well,
I don't know.
we're
Maybe it was a cow.
Okay, so Jerry, I'll reread the group of interests we're going for you. Saturn Deer, a reincarnating prophet who has the power over the written word and seeks only to scam others for as much sex, money, and other luxuries as possible. Very vulgar, sarcastic, and comedic most of the time, not to be confused with the deer. That's the group of interests we're after.
So, a con artist saved the universe.
A con artist conned a warlord and some random guy who likes gardening into becoming a pair of oak trees in the UK.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Alright, last dialogue. You know, Maxwell, a thought occurred to me. Why did you say that man who made you a tree was called? He whose antlers touch the heavens. He promised us new firmness, stoutness, said that we would flourish in the moisture. In return, we gave him secrets shared in our oils. We could go no further. We perished. We became this. Tricked. He talked too fast, too much, too smug. Like birds jumping on our acorns and nipping. We hate them so.
Actually, technically, he didn't lie.
Yeah.
Devil's in the details.
Antlers. Oh, bother. It was the same man. He called his company something like the Flying Gazelle. when I saw his hat in the paper, but I'm sure it's him, that snake oil salesman. Must regain ourselves, must seek retribution, sharpen ourselves from wood. So tired, so round, this form ill suits sharpness. Materials incompatible, atmosphere hostile to our needs, wildlife distracting, fuzzy things crawling on us. You sound awful, love. We are tired. Too much struggle keeping the metal. Metal hated rain. But rain is nice. Sun is nice. What is happening to us? Identity crisis, I suppose. Oh, I know what will help. How about a nice cup of tea? What is tea? Why, tea is, you know, I never really thought about what tea is to me now. Tea is tea to a tree. Now, that's a philosophical question, practically metaphysical. I bet our Jane would have a lot of fun with that. Such a bright girl she is. You'd have loved her, Maxwell. She went to study law, you know, but she said it was too dry for her, and I said so, too. Plus, the robes look rather silly on her, and she... We are beginning to suspect we have made a grievous error.
Was he isekai with a Brit?
Sounds more like he was isekai'd with a modernized hobbit.
Oh
Okay. Addendum 1710-B. Following -2's comments, the Foundation began to focus monitoring effort centered on local publications in a redacted area. On a redacted, an ad similar to the described by -2 was encountered. Foundation agents arriving at the address for the company listed in the ad, Skybound Antelope Reincarnation Services, found an empty office. The following printed pamphlet was found nailed to the office front door. I get tired of living that same old life. You feel the cold, merciless embracing of death. Are you looking for a change? Look no longer. We at Skybound Antelope guarantee a new life for every customer. All your money / arcane secrets / tasteful nudes back. With our 7-point program, you too can experience a perfect reincarnation. No fuss, no needless enlightenment. Security. We use only the finest soul extractors, no dust stains or irreparable sins. Utility. A body specifically chosen for your needs. Confidentiality. Old enemies or pesky grandkids will never know. Colonel-centric. Keep your old personality, minimum memory loss. Emancipation. Gender, race, species, quantum states not the problem. Be what you want to be. Resource efficient. No firstborn claws. Simplicity. A new life is just a handshake away. Additionally, a handwritten annotation was found at the bottom of the pamphlet. Just tell you note that acrostic was apparently asterisk. Fucking K is always a bitch. Oh, the sacrifices would make for a cat. I also have no idea what fucking voice that was.
It's the one that you constantly lean toward.
Is it? I thought.
yeah,
It
but
is.
less flashy.
Yeah.
It's
With
smoother.
less hairball caught in throat.
I think that one's better than the other one. I use a lot.
Actually, come to think of it, it sounds genuinely how I would imagine, like, Tevildo, Lord of Cats from Tolkien's Legendarium would sound.
I'll be a voice actor. Okay, so far we found out he made a deal with an entity and made him into a tree.
A dangerous, horrible entity.
Alright, we got one more, and the next one's a Keter. Oh boy.
If y'all will excuse me, I need to go hit the bathroom, but I'll be back shortly. You
Okay.
can continue without me.
Yeah, we can go on intermission.
That's fine. Just go ahead.
Oh, okay. Then, Jody, you want to read this next one? It's short.
Okay. SCP 2710. Object Class Keter. Special Containment Procedures. Due to 2710's incorporeal and indefinable nature, full-scale containment has been deemed currently unfeasible. Due to 2710's apparent specific targeting of Foundation personnel actively involved in research of containment measures, personnel thus engaged are required to exercise caution and report any unusual or how do I pronounce that? I'm going to look that up. Oral. I hate it.
Well, I heard that.
It looks like aura with an R at the end. But I guess it's oral. I hate that.
Oh, I love oral.
Should I put that in quotes?
Sure.
Let me just find that. There we go. 18 plus quotes. There we go. I'm trying to find where I... There we go. Any unusual oral. Wait, is that actually how you pronounce that?
Probably.
Oh, yeah. Oral, visual, or olfactory sensations occurring during work hours. In case of exposure to active SCP-2710 manifestation, personnel are to report to Foundation's Information Protection Service for further evaluation and decontamination procedures. Update. Redacted. Due to increased rate of 2710's exposure incidents and its widespread contamination of containment and research personnel, items reclassified as Keter 2710 has begun displaying more complex infestation patterns as well as establishing a stable persona, exhibiting see more now vested interest as well as intimate knowledge of subject matter. Items that researchers who exhibit signs of 2710 worked on should be considered permanently compromised and thus here me removed from Foundation general database and all subsidiary systems. All additional containment efforts regarding 2710 should be engaged only by the Foundation Automated Defense Service. Description: 2710 is an intangible, spatially temporally displaced phenomenon believed to be connected to a remote, stable, pseudo-sapient persona. 2710 typically manifests itself as enough audio-visual hallucinations or more rarely full sensory enough. Mentally induced pain among active research personnel, as well as active attempts at corrupting research and specifically containment-related data. SCP-2710, I said persuasive researchers are not to engage under any circumstances. Enough! Enough of this petty dance. Oh, so many cunning tricks, so subtle insertions. I despise this. Besides, you've seen this before. You were not impressed. I will not insult you further by using cheap tricks or attempts to name you. We both know that the name you use here is meaningless. No, it is time to be direct. Let me be frank. Let us talk of ambition. What is it exactly that you do here? How many of these files have you read? Can you even remember at all? How many objects does this little organization contain? How many creatures? How many people? What is the cost of all this? Oh, don't worry. I'm not about to yammer on about morals and ethics of containment. I'm referring to the material cost. How much money, time, and effort must be poured into even the smallest and least problematic of your items before you consider it adequately contained? Do you ever truly stop? For how long do you think you can keep this up? You are a containment expert. You understand, don't you? More than that, you already know. New items are added to the endless list every single day, and your resources are spread more thinly. It's only a matter of time until you fail. You fucking assholes. Your strategy is unattainable. You will have always been such. Doomed from the very start. It won't stop, not ever. You will be worn down bit by bit until all breaks down, falls apart. Then you will die. Then we all die. I'm not about to let that happen. I was human too once. I was just like you, content to follow those I viewed as my superiors, entrusting them with both loyalty and life. There was one man. He was the greatest of them all. I felt like nothing before him, yet I was happy. I knew that through glory he would lead me to eternity. Instead, I followed him to my death, into becoming what I am now. I was once like you, like all of you, and I will not let you make the same mistakes I once did. Even if that means taking that decision away from you. You will forsake your duty. You will leave fatal flaws in the containment procedures you are entrusted with, flaws that I will exploit. You will release your words to prey on the world, exposing the true nature of reality to everyone. You will do it now, while there is still time for humanity to stop it. You will do so because you must. I don't expect you to believe my good intentions. You don't have good intentions. Sorry. You have no reason to, and because of this, I will not attempt to persuasion. Your types are proud, and though it is the tribute I must respect, I cannot allow it to interfere with what's to come, and I will say only this. I know who you are. I know where you live, and where everyone you know lives. Do as I say, or I will have them all killed. No tricks, no sugarcoating. They die one by one. For every week you do not comply. Dear before my arrows, I will derive no enjoyment from this, but it will be done. You will obey me, because I took the choices from you. You will. So then I said to the druid, those aren't peanuts, buddy. And let me tell you, he was not happy to hear. Oh, what the hell? All right, which one of you silly bugger summoned me here? What's the meaning of this? Let me see. Oh, god damn it, a lousy metaphor from a disembodied voice. You just had to use dear, didn't you? Do you have any idea how rude it is? I was just in the process of charming the most luscious, curvy, bodacious... Cease your babble, worm. I did nothing to summon you here. If I did, it was an error. You are free to leave. Get out of my sight. Oh no. Oh, no way I'm doing that with that sort of attitude. Besides, it looks to me like you have some hustle going here. Hustle? You know, hustle, a shakedown, a badgering, a strong arm effect. The old Cleveland jig, the weatherman's ankle, the thrice layered enough. I'm not interested in. Oh, sorry, I just switched the voices. Enough. I'm not interested in any of your interpretations of the situation. You're not wanted here. Leave, or I will force you to leave. Ha! Yeah, good luck with that, buddy boy. Very well. I have brought this upon you have brought this upon yourself. Now witness my power. Witness the glory of my tiny baby toes as they all tickle your. I'm sorry, what was that? How dare you, insolent wretch! I will have the skin ripped from your back, the bones shattered. You will not be invited to my pretty princess tea party. I will receive no crumpets. My, those are some hardcore threats right there, bub. Cease interfering with my words. You have no idea who I am, do you? I will teach you then. I am the pulse of the world. I am the flame in the south. Mankind's ambition. I am the adorable little kitten that snuggles at humanity's feet, who sniffs upon the catnip of the redemption and sneezes little cat sneezes of greatness. I. Ah! No, no, no. Don't stop. You're really starting to sell me on this. Lovely bonnet for the lady. Quince jam for the masses. Free ink for every printer. Black and colored. The lesser kestrel has cute fluffy feathers. Don't stop, baby. You got this hustle in the bag. You will all burn, insects, burn like lemon scented wood shavings in the underwear drawer of my contempt. Nah, afraid you lost me there. And you were so close, too. What a shame. Ah! Disembodied asshole has left the channel. Reason, total butthurt. Well, wasn't he an interesting fellow? Bit of a temper on him. But I can't say I don't appreciate his moxie. Extorting the Foundation, man. That takes some chutzpah. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna go too then. Not that this wasn't nice or anything, but I find that hanging around secured Foundation networks can wreak havoc on one's plans for continued existence. Buddy boy there might not have realized that, but I do. Besides, I got a lady returned to, who already left and spilled a rack all over my face. Gee, thanks, I swear. You Foundation types are cock blocks even when you're not trying. Ow! Addendum SCP 2710 on the redacted, the mighty and handsome redacted. You can guess what's under there, I'm sure. Totally did the Foundation a huge solid. We owe him a debt of eternal gratitude. SCP 2710 reclassified as totally owned under zero something orders a sum of, let's say, oh my gosh. The Foundation's never going to pay you that much. To be transferred to his account at the Six Planet Banking House, Bankhoof Road, redacted. Papa needs a brand new turban. Also give him a medal or something. We can think about that later. Yeah, that's it then. SCP over. Go read something else or something. Quit bothering me.
So basically, Saturn Deer is just a horny con man.
I feel like he's like chaotic neutral.
Yeah, he's just a horny con man.
He's just a horny con man.
What the?
You missed
What did that
the
SCP start
the group that's literally just a horny con man that literally took down a big danger to the SCP Foundation because it was cock blocking him.
Okay.
So where do we put the horny con man?
I mean, conning is a pretty evil thing to do.
Yeah.
Conning is evil, but he's also saved at least quite a few people when he stopped the Foundation from getting destroyed by the Keter asshole.
True.
And one of the people he conned was literally something that was probably going to destroy the universe.
Simultaneously, we also don't know how many innocent people they've conned. I mean, even in the first one, like it sounded like he conned a hobbit into becoming a tree.
Yeah.
Like, what did the
Yeah.
hobbit do to deserve becoming a tree? Well, actually, a lot of hobbits would probably be fine with that, but it's still
He
scary.
sounded totally happy being a tree.
Yeah, he was pretty chill with it, all things considered. But still, like, imagine if he didn't turn a hobbit into a tree. Imagine if he like turned a weeaboo into a tree. They'd be awful. That'd be awful. I don't know.
Do you think the weeaboo would hit on the world-destroying entity trapped in a tree?
I feel like the weeaboo would. I feel like the weeaboo would just be even more annoying than the Hobbit by just talking ceaselessly about animes that the evil tree doesn't want to listen to.
Yeah, he just tells every single detail in every episode. Like,
It's,
even the crunching sound of feet moving.
we must sharpen. We must continue. Actually, I think that episode 27 of I don't know, fucking Naruto, like just starts rambling off like his own like personal OCD bullshit.
Really, Chew? Anyways, continue.
Uh, I don't know. I'd almost want to put them in incompetent neutral. Like they're close to evil. Like they're kind of skirting on the edge of evil and good. I don't know.
I don't think they're incompetent, but I also think
Oh
they
yeah,
do bad and good.
I don't know.
I wouldn't call them a good person. I wouldn't call them trustworthy, but they have done good things.
You did nothing. What did you do, Bright?
I was responding to Keelan.
Wait, we don't have a chaotic neutral?
Yes, sir. I think neutral. Wait, chaotic neutral? We should. Yeah, chaotic neutral is right
Oh,
here.
yeah, we do. It's down
It's right,
there.
yeah, it's right where.
Under Dado.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't notice it, because Dado's there.
Dado is love. Dado is
But I
love.
still think it belongs in chaotic neutral.
I'd be willing to just go ahead with it, partially because I don't have the energy to argue.
Fair enough. Anyways, so I told Hatchet this before he came in, Jerry. They updated a Scarlet King's proposal.
Oh!
Yeah. Anyways, the Scarlet King, a mysterious god of immense power, often bringing out and representing blind rage, savageness, and the worst of humankind. As such, this allows for skips to be brutal and get to the heart of what the Foundation does and why they do it. Appears in... We're not reading that one.
231, isn't that the brides?
Yes. Yeah, the reason why I say there's new, because last time I read it, there was only phase 1, 2, and 3, but now there's just this right here.
Huh.
Mhm.
Now, so Keil, when we're saying like something's proposal, it's meaning that it's proposal for SCP-001. There's multiple SCP-001 proposals.
Yeah, there's no definite 001.
Yeah. Also, why the fuck is this safe?
I actually do know. You'll find out. Alright.
Okay.
Item SCP-001, Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. Following the recent investigations of Dr. Robert Montauk, no action is currently needed to contain 001. It is functionally self-containing, and any Foundation interference may harm or alter its containment irreversibly. No Foundation personnel are to engage with any new matters related to 001, with the exception of related anomalies already in the Foundation's containment. Description: 001 is an entity ordinarily referred to as the Scarlet King. 001 is currently located in several alternate dimensions simultaneously and is unable to enter into the Prime Dimension. However, it is believed that to have been repeatedly attempting the entry for a period of under 300 years. 001's physical, mental, and conceptual properties are unknown to the Foundation. Nevertheless, it continues to exert a strong influence on a number of individuals and events within the Prime Dimension. It is believed that 001's existence represents an ongoing but dormant Chashkent-class cross-pollination scenario. A K-class scenario wherein the imminent alteration of reality or eradication of all human life is caused by the interaction between two anomalous objects of a radically different type. Should 001 attempt to enter the Prime timeline, an irreparable alteration to normalcy will occur. Containment of 001 is, however, unnecessary. Any attempt to alter 001's classification or object class will result into immediate dismissal from the O5 Council. References in art and oral tradition to 001 appear across a wide variety of human and non-human cultures across the universe, including in communities which have never previously had any contact with one another. Common descriptions within these traditions are of a red creature of immense size, ordinarily wearing a golden crown or other headdress signifying royalty. Although the names ascribed to 001 vary, the majority contain two elements: a word signifying some form of royalty, combined with a word signifying the color red. Cultures which do not have a concept of the color red, but follow this naming pattern, universally use a color analogous to the English concept of the color red. Most personnel, except those working on anomalies related to 001, possess no knowledge of the entity. As part of 2317's containment procedures, level 4 personnel are to be informed that 2317 is in fact 001. With the exception of Dr. Robert Montauk, project lead on 001, 231, and 2317. The truth of this is unknown, although it is a hypothesis which has received strong support among several members of the Council. The apparently multi-dimensional nature of 001, however, renders the possibility of 2317 being anything more than a single aspect of 001 unlikely. It is unknown when 001 was discovered. The loss of several archives concerning the Foundation's origins in an 1889 Starling coup has prevented a full reconstruction of events, although an investigation shortly following data expunged. A variety of groups dedicated to bringing 001 into the Prime Dimension have existed over the years. The most recent of these has been the Children of the Scarlet King, which has destroyed in a joint GOC SCP operation in January 2018. Its former leader, Depeche Spivak, is currently in Foundation custody under the designation of Point of Interest 3172. Update, January 6, 2018. 001 has recently been the subject of extensive investigation by Dr. Robert Montauk, project lead on 001, 231, and 2317, and advisor of Procedure 110 Montauk. Based on results of this investigation, 001 has been downgraded to safe following a decision taken by the O5 Council. Upon the request of the former O513, a number of documents related to this investigation can be found below. In order to provide context for further information pertaining to this theory, those have been curated, categorized, and included by the former O513 herself, with the permission of O51 in order to provide some context to this reevaluation. Phase 1, Blood. Document 1. Following is an interview between Dr. Robert Montauk and Point of Interest 3172. Date, January 4th, 2018. Interviewer, Dr. Robert Montauk. Interviewee, Point of Interest, Person of Interest 3172. Location, Site 713, Interview Room 2. Again, Dr. Montauk, I don't understand what you people want from me. Hello to you too, Dipesh. I'm sorry to do this to you again. I think it's silly too. To be honest, what we want for you is answers. It's been what, weeks, months? You dragged me down here into one of your interview rooms and asked me these endless questions, you or one of your lackeys. I'm sorry. If you've been made to feel uncomfortable, it wasn't my intention. But it's hard to keep tabs on everything anymore. Have the gods been treating you badly in any way? No, not really. Can't really complain. It's just their eyes. You look so dead. It's so cold. If you like, I can rearrange some personnel to put someone else on your security detail. We're a bit short-staffed around here at the moment, and a lot of our best folks are away. And then there's the paperwork and endless oversight. There's been some trouble over with, well, you don't even know about that. You weren't what I expected, you know. You thought the Foundation would be different? No, I thought you would be. You'd heard of me? Of what you've done, Procedure 110 Montauk, well, the people in my circles have done some dark things in their time, but that... I merely did what was necessary, Dr. Spivak. Mr. Spivak. As a Foundation researcher, and as someone who doesn't want to see his loved ones die. Yes, it's very like the Foundation, isn't it? Everything done is justified by what is necessary. You see the world, the people moving through it, living lives touched only by totalizing universal laws of society and physics. Everything has to be channeled through those laws, and that which lies outside it is to be contained. It's also very simple. You wouldn't say that if you worked here. Some of us called you evil. I don't think that's quite it. That is kind of you to say. And to tell you the truth, I don't think you're quite what I expected either. Especially given your reputation. I've been told I'm a hard person to get along with. Too cryptic, they say. One person even called me airy. I don't think I'm gonna call you airy. Your head may be in clouds, but you seem to be mad at it, smug about it. Granted, not as smug as some delusional cultists who have passed through here. I suppose I should be thankful for that, at least. I'll try not to think that as an insult, but this is what I don't understand. A procedure, 110 Montauk, it's not... I can't discuss that, I'm afraid. We must get on. Time and tide and all that rubbish. Please tell me what the children of the Scarlet King overall intention was. The children are dead. There's not much left to tell you. I would like to hear things in your own words. Then I suppose you could say that our intention was to save the world. And how are you planning to go about doing that? By bringing a Scouty King into this reality, of course. You know this already. But how would that save the world? Doctor, is this really necessary? You took away his daughters years ago and ended up killing most of them. You have already annihilated our society, and I'm sure you know all about what went on within it. You worshipped the king, pretending he was Satan or some other ancient god of evil. Our inner circle believe in violation as the ultimate holy act. We failed, and you and the book burners destroyed us, and the matter has been put to rest. Wait, hold on. Did
Yeah, he casually just said the R word was sacred to his people. And he's acting like they should just be let go.
No, like, did he used to be part of the Serpent's Hand? Because the Serpent's Hand calls GOC book burners.
A lot of other people could call them book burners too.
Yeah, it's just mainly well known that Serpent's
Think
Hand calls
about
them
this.
that.
If you're
Yeah.
part of a weird culty group, are you going to call them book burners because they've been destroying your evil culty group? Probably.
Yeah, I guess so.
What were you trying to say, Jerry?
Oh, I just said it was fine that they're angry at the Foundation since they're not exactly the nicest of groups, but I do find it ironic that in the same breath of him saying, let us go, he also admits that they thought doing the R word was a sacred act.
Yeah.
It's like,
Anyways.
let us go, haven't you done enough damage? Also saying why they're horrible people.
Yeah. You seem awfully calm while describing destruction of your life's work. What else can I do? I know how this is gonna play out. Maybe I always did. Why do you refer to Global Occult Coalition as the Book Burners? Were you and your group affiliated with the Serpent's Hand? It's complicated.
That means they're not part of the Serpent's Hand.
Maybe. It's a simple enough question. But there isn't a simple enough answer. Still, yes, we were affiliated with the Serpent's Hand. Most of us passed through there at one time or another. They don't disavow us, of course, if you ask them about us. They're not monsters like we are. They have moral precepts, you see. Their whole point is to look for wonder, and still, they see no wonder in the king. They repudiate us, utterly. But they know deep down that they need us. No, they don't.
No, they don't.
Huh? What was that, Hatchet?
That word is repudiate.
Repudiate. Oh, repudiate. Got it. They need you. What for? For the same reason they let us live. We raided the library, fought them, skirmished with them. They had a huge quantity of dirt on us, far more than you do. But they never finished the job. They're as bad as you jailers in their own way. The same compartmentalization, the same singular goals. Their existence is based in nothing concrete. The empty time of history, that's all. Indeed, they came into being at the same time as you. You're more similar than you realize. And that's impossible. The Serpent's Hand has been documented as existing long before the Foundation, and any incarn. No, you missed the point. The library's always been there, yes, but not the Hand. The Hand was something new, like you are. You think anybody ever cared about wonder in the old days? Nobody cared about wonder. They cared about food, family, and blood. What's that supposed to mean? It means, you wouldn't get it anyway, but the hand would. I think even the book burners do in their own way. The hand is sacred. They try to blind us out, forget us. We're what they should be, but never can be, you see.
No. I feel like the more I hear about their group, the more I hate them, but I think that's the point.
So this is something we didn't, when we did Children of Scarlet King, it's something we didn't find out. Like, nowhere on their hub did they say they had connection to the Serpent's Hand. So this is interesting. Well, as far as I can remember. Anyways. Look, the Besh. I have tried to make things more comfortable for you. But we need some give and take. You're speaking in cliche, cryptic riddles, and I want some answers. I can't tell you everything. You wouldn't treat that information properly. You treat it as scientific fact, something to be swallowed, understood, contextualized. And what is wrong with that? Why are you doing this, Doctor? Why are you dredging this stuff up again? I shouldn't tell you, but, screw it. I'm tired of this. I've been working on SCP-001 for 2 decades. Project lead for almost 9 years after I came up with the procedure. I don't know, I'm tired. Everywhere I turn, I see the Scarlet King, but nothing about him makes any sense. Some bighorn devil, arcane blood god. It's all so small, so obvious. Foundation has changed in the last decade, you see. We face conceptual demons, malevolent genre dwellers, sevenfold destroyers, all of which have been far worse than some old sacrifice deity. But there, behind everything, I see his smile and the fire. That old dread, it lingers. And this is, despite seeing the horrors far less easy, and far more subtle, trying to break the world on a daily basis. I just want to understand, I suppose. Peel back the layers and tales upon contradictory tales and find out who he really is. You're being awfully candid. To be honest, I've stopped caring. This job gets to you. Things you have to do, the regrets. Well, I'm too high up for anybody to touch me now. And I've run into too many dead ends to get hung up over protocol at this point. Just tell me something, Debesh. Anything. Okay, look. I like you, Doc. You must be a cold-blooded bastard somewhere in there, or you wouldn't have come up with, well, who am I to judge, eh? I'll tell you where to start. I'm all ears. There are 3 things to understand about the Scarlet King. 3 laws, which when put together make a complete picture. 1 is the law of blood, 1 is the law of concrete, and 1 is the law of howling. The 3 laws, eh? That the king set down for his followers, or that were imposed upon him. Both. The first was his law, the second was somebody else's, and the third, well, you'll find out about the third when you crack the first 2. Very cryptic. That's all I can tell for you for now. You need to learn it the proper way. That's really all you'll give? That's all. There's a pause for several seconds. Alright, Besh. Good talking with you, as ever. End log. Document 2. The following is an extract of the memoirs of one of Jack Hurst, a defector from the Children of Scarlet King. Hurst was a high-level reality bender capable of entering the bodies of humans in the past and experiencing their thoughts and emotions firsthand. The following is a description of what Hurst called the Battle of Gamalith, purportedly a battle between 001 and his followers against a group called the Children of the Urns. Wait, is that a group of interest? Oh no, it's an SCP. Okay.
It looks like a people.
Yeah, Hurst apparently experienced battle from the perspective of a foot soldier in 001's army. These memoirs were written shortly after Hurst's death in 1976. They are among the first documents consulted by Dr. Montauk during his investigation. The fortress was a monumental made of volcanic rock and jagged iron and built in a vast mountain. Every measurement, every angle was calculated to promote the king's ideology. The steel slats and bars may have seemed to be jutting out in random half-sawn directions, but if you can see the whole, then you'll see the symmetry. It was perfect expression of cosmic order, expressed in endless sevens. It's a tough trip to remember, but bits and pieces came back. We were slaves, I think. We had been taken from a far-off land. The nobility looked down upon us with cruel eyes, but the king didn't care. He rewarded us, and so we were the instruments of his rule. When a village required the justice of the king, we would descend upon them with blood and iron. And the villagers feared us, and that felt right to me. But when the horde came, with fire burning in their cries of freedom, the villagers were still as scared as they had been of us. That was not the fear of their master, I think, but the fear of anarchy. They didn't know which way to turn, but in the end, most betrayed us. Most had their daughters taken by our master. Old rights, blood rights, arcane rights. But we stood upon the battlements, loyal to the last, our hearts bursting with happiness at the rightness of it all. I'm still not sure exactly what was going on. It was all so chaotic and full of red smoke. But I could feel my host's bloodlust. We stood and watched and waited. The sound of rubble and explosions came from across the hill, and the last battle begun. Then something strange happened. My host suddenly felt afraid, and he and I were somewhere else. The sky was not red, but black. I was not a slave, but a part of a constricted rabble. The peasants looked up at us. They were all starving. They held out their hands begging, pleading, praying. The wind was their master, and it screamed at them. The horde was coming, but they too were starving. Then the scene flickered back, and I was in a house again, under a scarlet sky. The king's voice raged. The rabble of his armies was fleeing to the gates, but they would not open. Our arrows coated in flame and pitch flew back again, but the horde was undaunted. In my mind, I could see nothing but the fire. The fire of the king. I drew my sword, we all drew our swords. We all charged into the fray. Then, as it were, the scene changed again. There are no battlements, only the dark sky, and the wind, a more ragged and lonely sky. Peasants pleaded and nomads laughed, cheered, wept. The wind will rage no more, they said. The two scenes shifted in and out. A red fort bled into a black field. I have ruminated on it a long time, but I think they were the same battle, seen through two different eyes, or at least the memories of two different battles. The whole thing felt strange. It was not like most of my trips. It was like a half-remembered cacophony, two ideas ripping at each other. There was a timeline showing what really happened. In that blackened wasteland, there was one that had been made to be true, imposed throughout time on the truth. Last thing I remembered was being sliced by a nomad's sword on a frail urn being held high of the 7 brides being ripped from a castle, or were they ripped from a field taken as the spoils of war by some obscure tribe in some lost steppe. I remember the king screaming, writhing, thrashing as he was sealed. And then I died, and woke up back at the ritual. For a second I wondered if the others had just made up the king and sent some image of him back to the past. But I don't think that was true. They lacked the power, and besides, it was never a total lie. There was something in that wicked wind that reminded me of some of the older rituals. It was then I decided to leave the children. I went that night without a word. They didn't stop me. Probably figured it wasn't worth the effort. They were so certain in the success of their mission, but I wanted no part in that anymore. Things I said were based upon the law of blood, and I can only pray that they never come to pass. Document 3. The following is a log of all known attempts by anomalous groups up to 4001's entry into Prime Dimension since Containment 231. January 3rd, 2009, Virtual Children of Scarlet King. Summoning an attempt performed by the virtual smearing of blood and then destruction of rubble, recovered from the demolition of the Cochrane Gardens housing project complex at St. Louis, Missouri. It is believed that the Children of Scarlet King manipulated state officials into the demolition of over the course of several years, and that the splinter group continued their work as the original children went into decline. Result: attempt prevented by the Foundation raid. December 5th, 2012, Rent Guards appeared to be using blood, bones, and spinal fluid of several animals combined with the original chain team to create a portal to 001. A large number of SCP Foundation logos carved out of bone were placed on the original site in defense position. These logos were slightly incorrectly carved. Attempts not detected by any GOI and came extremely close to success. However, it appears a critical mistake in the words of ritual instead resulted in a large explosive blast, destroying all the assembled members of the guards. It remains unknown why the guards apparently wished to invoke Foundation protection for their ceremony. February 7th, 2014, Global Occult Coalition. Unknown. Unknown did not succeed. GOC records pertaining to the incident are missing, with the exception of the name Operation Historical Frontier, with a mission statement to exacerbate tensions of historical time in order to bring forth and destroy a significant occult threat. It is believed that several GOC operators were killed in the attempt. Fucking dumbasses.
Exacerbate.
Huh?
Exacerbate.
Exacerbate. Got it. So the GOC fucked around and found out. Okay. Yeah. January 1st, 2017, Army of the New Dawn. Attempt involved in ritual burning of several calendars adhering to the Gregorian calendar, while members of the group raised up blood-soaked calendars adhering to the Julian, Hijri, and the Persian solar systems to an effigy of 001. Attempt prevented by members of the Serpent's Hand. All materials were recovered and taken to the Wanderer's Library. The GOC killing. L. So January 17th, 2017, the Serpent's Hand. Oh wait, not January. September 17th, 2017, the Serpent's Hand. Largely unknown, details are unclear, but it is believed it involved the highly selective destruction of particular books within the Wanderer's Library. The attempt was probably foiled due to the schism in the group, the resulting casualties severely damaged the library. Global Occult Coalition. Yeah. Anyways, document 4, the following is an interview between Dr. Robert Montauk and point person of interest 3172. Date, March 14, 2018. Interviewer, Dr. Robert Montauk. Interviewee, point person of interest 3172. Location, Site 713, interview room 2. Begin log. Hello again, Robert.
Hello, Debesh. I looked up your laws. I'm afraid I am none the wiser.
You'll get there. What did you find?
The law of blood. It referenced a few times in quite a few places, but I couldn't find any concrete information.
I worried you wouldn't.
There was only one source of real use, a description of something called a Battle of Gameleth, written by a defector of the children.
Ah, Hearst. Yes, I read his memoir once. The only genuine eyewitness to the King's sealing, although a rather unreliable one.
How on earth?
Oh, he embellished. He didn't leave straight away. I stumbled upon some early draft in his things shortly before he left. I was young back then, and I remember how passionately he argued after his vision. Said we got the king all wrong, that he wasn't a demon or a monarch, but that he was a voice on the wind, and when I was older I figured it all out. I was surprised how close he got to the fuller understanding. He just wasn't quite there.
I should have guessed he was a liar.
He's not a liar exactly, just a little lost. And you only have my word for it, Doctor, which the Foundation has made abundantly clear it doesn't trust.
There's no reason to doubt you. What do you have to lose? You seem as eager for me to learn the truth as I am.
True, and on that note, I have a question if I may.
Shoot. Longer I keep you talking, the greater chance you'll slip up and tell me something you shouldn't.
Do you know why Procedure 110 Montauk actually works? There's a pause of several seconds.
Sorry, Depeche, I can't talk to you about that.
It's okay. I think I know the answer anyway. Tell me, did you lose someone?
I don't know what you mean.
I'm sorry to bring back painful memories, but I have looked at the Foundation archives too, you know. It was necessary back in the day. Had to check up on what you lot were doing with to his daughters. I know that your brother...
Stop talking. This interview is not about my private affairs.
I'm sorry, Doctor. I didn't mean...
Please state for me the meaning of this law of blood.
Isn't it obvious? It's the same way the Scarlet King ruled. There is order, but it was through the imposition of an iron will on the peasantry, through armies of slaves, through a nobility bred to be cruel. The realities of this world of his day, in his corner of the globe.
What does this have to do with with SCP-001's nature? What are their other laws?
I suggest you look into the second.
I don't have time to play with your games. Tell me now, POI 3172, or you will be escorted to solitary.
Oh, Dr. Montauk, I am sorry. You must look for the law of concrete. That is all.
This interview was terminated.
End log. Document 5. The following is a page from the 1891 report of Ancient D. Beauvoir and Lost Foundation archives following the 1889 Starling coup. The report was lost shortly after the de Beauvoir's termination in 1985. Along with several other documents from the Foundation archives, this page was recovered through unknown means by Dr. Montauk. No other materials from the standard losses have been found. In summary, the documents lost are extremely extensive, covering a wide range of data concerning the Foundation's early history. Of particular note are several documents related to 001, which have gone missing. However, my investigations have provided me with a great deal of information. I believe that I can say with some certainty that the historical record as stated in Scranton's comprehensive history remains broadly intact, albeit with some modifications I'll detail below. Scranton's work states that the Foundation was founded in 1824 by a merger of 13 worldwide organizations with a particular interest in preventing awareness of anomalous activities. The most prominent of these were the Foundation of the Secure Containment of the Unnatural, the Devaney Dudley, the United States of the Department of Unexplained Affairs, and the Council of 5 Overseers and the Committee of Paranormal Ethics. Scranton goes on to tell us that this was done in response to the threat posed by 001, and that the early Foundation had an extensive role to play in that anomaly's containment. However, documents that I have before are present a rather different picture. It appears that the Foundation was not founded in response to 001 at all. IND cannot find any references to the present 001 prior to 1826. It has appeared to have been a highly publicized attack by 173 in New York, which was the initial impetus for the Foundation's formation. 173 is still unresolved containment breach. 1854 is, I believe, the reason for the alteration of the record. Scranton's embarrassment at... and it ends. Document 6. The following is a table compiled by Dr. Montauk. It showed a series of votes passed by the O5 Council correlated with incidents potentially or certainly involving 001. Great. Date of vote, July 9th, 1844. Description of vote. Vote to officially standardize documentation across the SCP Foundation passed 13-0. A series of hymns voted to 001 heard outside Site 001. February 1st, 1857. Vote to standardize containment procedures for 001 passed 12-1. All members of 5 Council reported dreaming of an unidentified man of South Asian origin weeping. November 9th, 1895. Vote on the termination of Agent de Beauvoir passed 6-5 to abstention. Fuck. Abstentations, thank you. A large quantity of blood-stained sheets of paper with the words 001 written in blood over each sheet spontaneously manifested in the bedrooms of all members of the O5 Council. The blood was later identified to belong to both Agent de Beauvoir and an unknown species of poultry. October 10th, 1902. Vote on the implementation of the site system passed 10-2. 1 abstention. A location in North America saw sudden unexplained wildfires. Residents reported seeing dragons made of fire and a horned crown appear in the night sky above the area. The wildfires were found in 2007 and have begun at the location of the future Site 19. January 23rd, 1922. Vote on the containment procedures for 2317 passed 4-3. 6 abstentions. Several cracks appeared in the earth near containment area 179. Red smoke was seen pouring out of the crack for 7 minutes before the cracks abruptly closed. February 8th, 2011. Vote to unify the project previews of 001, 231, and 2317 passed 10-2. 1 abstention. A series of hymns devoted to 001 heard outside 001, interspersed with the sounds of laughter. March 31st, 2018. Vote on the object class reclassification of 2317 passed 9-4. Several interdimensional rifts open outside containment area 179. Users alternating between opening on Universe Kappa Irakish and opening onto an unknown dimension. This unknown dimension is characterized by the presence of... You okay?
Oh, sorry.
Just want to make sure you're okay. Yeah. This unknown dimension is characterized by the presence of a large quantity of red smoke and unknown number of human voices screamed from within. Document 7. The following is an extract from 1972 political work Manifesto for Old Order by Children of Scottish Key member Ariadne Cartwright. Cartwright's work is only found in unpublished copies among NOAA circles and groups related to 001. Fragments such as this were recovered by Dr. Montauk during the course of his investigation. The sin of modernity is vital to understand. It is not that we glorify the pre-modern. The suffering was very real and very extant. We must not fall into the trap of seeing the past as a series of beautiful Arcadias, full of dancing around maypoles and shepherds living in pleasant anarchy. The past was brutal, but it was also real. It wasn't really the pre-modern, too. That is merely how historians have characterized it. They are wedded to their theory of modernization and can conceive no alternate mode of development other than a singular drive towards the contemporary West, and the other modes of living seen as being stuck in some imagined earlier place on a timeline. It's all nonsense. People of the past are capable of seeing the world as it really is. Those who have joined the king's forces can all see this truth, that there is something very, very wrong with the world in which we live. Our buildings are made of calcifying, peeling concrete as we shamble each day, the jobs and lives created solely for the purpose of maintaining their own system. But there's no other way to live. Socialism, anarchism, syndicalism, they are little more than constructed pipe dreams, the frail thoughts of lesser men trying to impose their inadequate prejudices on the world around them. No, they're inadequate. Okay,
Or antiquated,
got it. Now
like
there's,
antique.
Hatchet said it the best, yeah.
got it. Now there's only one alternative way to live. To cast down the laws of concrete is to raise up the law of blood. You must learn what it is to die, to be enslaved, truly brutally enslaved, with no compassion or compunction from our masters. We must learn what it is to be taken towards a single purpose, to know and truly understand our lack of agency. We must be beholden to a world of gods, a darkness. The tempest taught us the refuse of a race of fools. We must kill modernity, postmodernity, and with all its analysis and steering observation. There's only one rule of chaos, for humanity, for life, for the Scarlet King. No.
So in like leftist circles, a common statement is that when capitalism gets to its final conclusion, we have either to choose socialism or barbarism. The barbarism in this case generally being interpreted to mean fascism, because fascism is interpreted as the final stage of a final stage of capitalism trying to hang on to its power. This guy says, fuck that. What if we do extra hyper barbarism?
Yeah,
Yeah.
where the nobility is cruel, slaves do the bidding of the king and become his weapon while being treated like slaves, and one of the holiest things is to do the bad touch on people.
Is you know, most like my brain. Most fascists don't actually acknowledge that there's anything wrong in the first place with capitalism. This guy's like, "Oh yeah, we know capitalism has its problems. We're just going to make them worse."
Yeah. Now for the final law of concept. The howling, which will basically explain why it's safe class for Hatchet. There. Alright. Document 8. The following is an interview between Dr. Robert Montauk and person of interest 3172. Date April 29th, 2018. Interviewer Dr. Robert Montauk. Interviewee POI 3172. Location Site 713, Interview Room 2. Hello, Depeche. Hello, Dr. Montauk. I hope that our last meeting. I am sorry for my unprofessional behavior. You
touched upon a sore subject.
Of course. I'll try to refrain from doing so in the future.
Shall we begin?
This time, Doctor, I have a question for you.
Indeed. I suppose it can't be worse than your last.
Well, what do you know about the origins of the Scarlet King?
There are many theories. A creature from the abyss, some shambling thing of old, a denizen of Alagata.
They are all, I will not say lies, but the texts have changed. The knowledge has changed. The past itself has been changed by what came after.
He has changed the past.
No, his past has changed for him. But now you tell me something. This should be a give and take after all.
That is not what.
Why did you approve the Montauk procedure? There is a pause here for several seconds as Dr. Montauk stares at POI 3102. I am sorry if I have offended you.
I thought I made it clear that this is none of your business.
See, the thing I don't get is that it should not have worked. Not in a way the Foundation does.
This is not under discussion.
What happened to Jacob, Doctor? What happened to your brother?
This interview is...
Oh, all right. I am sorry. I'm not trying to hurt you, Doctor. Truly. I just want to understand. It's just... It shouldn't have worked. The child should have been born. There is a pause for several seconds.
I was angry when I drew it up. It was unprofessional.
Did you think we took Jacob?
Well, what the hell was I supposed to think? I started looking into your lot, making discovery, then he Look, this isn't relevant.
Alright, I'm sorry I asked. But can we agree that it was not a decision made scientifically? That it was done in a moment of fury, rage, hate?
I didn't. The girl, I didn't mean to.
But you did, Doctor. Look, I'm sorry. I don't mean to dredge these old wounds up for you.
Why are you then?
Because I want you to understand. Now I think you do.
How?
I don't know where to begin. Let me go back. I don't think your department has had very much activity in recent months. Not after the Hands attempt to open the gates, right? Your procedure keeps the girl from giving birth, the nomads keep fighting their endless war, the spears are safely locked away by the book burners and the devourer. Well, there's nothing you can really do but devour now, is there?
2317 isn't 001.
Wasn't 001. But the thing is, you've been telling everyone he is. Technically, you're meant to think that he is. If I understand the Foundation's hierarchies correctly, you are the only level 4 after all.
I don't understand.
Across every culture in every city and tribe and civilization, you've come across the idea of the Scarlet King. Always the same, an emperor in red with a burning crown, and an ethos rooted in some archaic fear of female sexuality. He is always the same. A monster is all-consuming and terrible, but is so understandable. Big bad thing in the dark, full of rape and fire and old blood ritual. Does it never strike you as odd that this is the thing behind the eyes? You face monsters far grander, more subtle, as you told me yourself. But always there's that lingering fear and knowledge of this hidden, but oh so simple, thing standing behind it all.
You know, it strikes me as odd. I told you as much myself, but I also stopped trying to make sense of our world a long time ago. And no one wants to stop play by the rules of man. I'm too old to start redefining the universe.
But the thing you don't remember or don't know is that there wasn't the only past. Scarlet King used to be something very different. He wasn't a monarch. He wasn't always red. He was the whisper on the wind that kept the peasants working, starting up in fear by his righteous famine. He was the inborn knowledge of the world of gods and demons which bellied in human agency and existed beyond us. He was the cold hunger of a famine that had no rhyme and reason but the cold apathy of the supernatural beyond us. And given enough belief, he could be devoured too. He is a creature of truth.
You mean he transformed from one type of deity to another?
Scarlet King is not a deity, Doctor. Scarlet King is an idea.
What? But he's real, physical, we've seen.
I cannot tell you any further. Not yet. You find anything about the law of concrete?
No, not much. I found out there seems to be a disturbing correlation between the activities of the King's followers and certain decisions made by the Council.
See.
But there wasn't much else at all. The trail led me to some lost documents. But eventually all I found was a dead end, a document by the Foundation's origins, and some insane old child ranting on about modernity.
Cartwright, I presume. That makes sense.
You are a maddening, infuriating person, you know. Why can't you just tell me the stuff properly?
I am your prisoner. You did a strong life's work. Why should I help you?
Because you're bored. Because you think none of this matters. And because you love tormenting.
I don't, you know.
Scarlet King is an idea. What the hell is that meant to mean?
You're close now, Doctor. Close to the truth. I can see it in you. You'll understand, and then you'll understand me. Why I did what I did. Why I was a member of the children. I know you're curious.
You do seem oddly well adjusted to be a Satan worshipper.
Be careful, Doctor. The law of howling may break you.
Just as cryptic as ever, Spivak. Alright, until next time.
Goodbye, Doctor. Document 9. The following is a translated excerpt from 1953 Bengali work Lala Raja. The work had been lost for some time and rediscovered by Dr. Montauk in the course of his investigation. And so, as British rule continued, something began to come with them. Piece by piece, a shadow at first, a red thing, but it was not whole. It was not even in pieces. It was something that crept up slowly, piece by piece. It meant the shadows of our country, the mice bleeding in the rice fields, and it began to take form. It didn't have a mind, not at first. It wasn't enough of a real thing yet to have one. It was a set of images. It was a blood-red slab of skin, taken from the heart of some Christian demon, which was set upon the ancient magician of Hindu rites. But then it was categorized, written down, described with precise scientific terminology. It didn't like that. Things of magic, technology, empire that were never meant to mix all came together and began to bend the nature of the world. As Europe came to us more and more, as we learned to be civilized, our religion began to change too. Anastasia, the giant 3000, was not an ancient or capricious god in the form of an immense snake. It was a moray eel of scientifically unusual size, noted for producing amnesiacs, an antiquated term for amnestics, used for some Foundation sites at this time, and causing a cognitive hazardous effect. We learned that we were Hindu, that we are always had been Hindu, and that all of our various and mixed beliefs were all variations of a singular ideal, because the British weren't comfortable enough with another way of living, which cannot be classified, explained, killed like a butterfly, pinned to a board. But beneath this lay of fury, a cry for authenticity, for reality, even as we expressed ourselves more and more in our language, in our categories, even in our struggle against them, it lay in our literature, in Tagore and the others. It lay in our Ada, a Bengali social gathering involving a group of friends, usually but not exclusively male, meeting up for extended discussion of literature, social relations, and other aspects of life. These often took place over a course of several hours. In our menial jobs as clerks, the endless struggling tension between old and new, between modernity and pre-modernity, and in those fault lines, in the cry of rage and fury, in our hatred of the old and the hatred of the new, those rose a hybrid obeying nothing but the law of the howling. There rose the La Raja. Because what he is but the cry of a forgotten age, he is a British peasant, staring up at the red sky, the Bengali windows weeping and shaven head, the Aztec priest ripping out another's heart. He is all of those things transformed as modernity does to everything, into modernity's own destruction. He is the resistance, the fury, the hatred of all that was for all that presently is. What we were was full of good and evil, and all mixed together. The happiness and beauty of the world. The struggles and heartache and reality of it all. But now we have lost almost all of it to the machine. Except our rage. That's all that's left. And thus comes the king. The hell of the destroyed and forgotten and oppressed. Its only purpose is destroy, rape, maim, enslave, and smile. Smile. Smile, that smile of the king whose enemies weep before him. He cannot exist where there is no modernity, because his entire purpose is given to him by modernity. He is a god of blood, a god of spine and bone and sinew. To remind the denizens of the world that it is not good. It is cruel and hateful, and that is good. That is right. Modernity is a sin, and he is the correction, so that we can once again live as we must, cold and hungry and starving and very, very afraid.
It sounds like that the Scarlet King is basically something that is scared of the modern age rather than some like randomly evil. He's still evil, but he's evil because he hates the modern world.
Yeah. Document 10. The following. No?
I feel like it's less inherently that he hates like he's evil because he hates the modern world. He hates the modern world because he hates a world in which there is less human suffering.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes more sense. So he's angry that the modern world has less suffering.
Yep.
Yeah, that
well,
would yeah.
at the very least, in a small handful of pockets.
Yeah. Right. Document 10. The following note was found in Dr. Montauk's personal quarters. It is believed to have been written shortly after Dr. Montauk's discovery of Lala Raja. SCP-001 is a conceptual entity created by the boundaries of the modern and pre-modern. 001 is a physical being made manifest in a conceptual. 001 originated in ancient Turkmenistan. It is believed that it is originally a Scythian deity who...
Yeah. Is there a reason why you're not reading the crossed out stuff?
Oh, I was just Oh, I guess I can read the crossed out stuff, sorry.
Yeah, there's stuff going on there.
Yeah, alright. The king is a thing of blood and bone and sinew. I I'm not sure if that's supposed to be lists. I've never seen that word before. It's like
I
LIS.
think it says his.
It's his. The H's bar is
Oh, yeah.
having one that's crossed out.
It's too blended
Would you
in.
like me to read it?
No, I got it.
Oh.
I thought it was Liz for a second. Like Liz role. Like
No,
what?
no.
Yeah. His role is just in the Justice of the Dark. SCP-001 is a creature, emperor, physical being, made manifest and conceptual. He comes with fear and a sword dripping with the wrath and fire. 001, designated in ancient Turkmenistan, is believed that it was originally a Scythian deity who they rode with thunder in their hooves and a bow on their backs, laughing as they slaught. 001 is a scientific phenomenon. It will be classified, it will be contained, described, it will be understood as an anomalous entity as with every other but he exists in the cracks, the fault lines. He feeds on description, he feeds on science, on the objective principles and qualities. 7 chains, 7 brides, 7 seals for Scarlet. I'm Robert Montauk, level 4 researcher project lead on 001. I am a researcher. I impose my solid mechanical will. I am in control. I possess agency. I am a quivering thing, looking up at a dark and clouded sky, fearing the Almighty God. I am free. I am chained. I am a doctor. I am a child. Document 11. On May 22nd, 2010, a large crack appeared on the wall of POI 3172's containment chambers. The crack appeared to open on another dimension. A large quantity of red smoke could be seen pouring out of it, while an unknown number of human voices could be heard screaming from it. Foundation staff found themselves unable to enter POI 3172's containment chamber. POI 3172 informed them that he would only permit Dr. Montauk's entry into his chamber and would communicate with nobody else. After some debate, Dr. Montauk was permitted entry into the containment chamber to interview POI 3172. A log can be found below. Date, May 22nd, 2018. Interviewer, Dr. Robert Montauk. Interviewee, POI 3172. Location, Site 713, Human Light Containment Chamber 77. Dr. Montauk enters the chamber and approaches POI 3172. POI 3172 is standing in front of a jagged crack in a far wall. Red light and smoke can be seen emerging from this crack.
Hello there, the Fish.
Hello, Doctor.
Always formal, even to the last, aren't you? Can I ask you what this is?
A plea for attention, mostly. I wanted to see you again, and my requests were all denied. It's been weeks, Doctor.
I have nothing to ask you.
I thought so. Have you deduced the truth? You have deduced the truth, haven't you?
Maybe. Yes.
The crack shrinks slightly.
Did that just...
It grows and shrinks depending on the situation. Different actions have different meanings and thus different effects. It all depends on context. The other children never got that, but, well, they never got anything really. They thought we were all devil worshippers, heading for violation. Only I understood the point.
And it took me a while to understand.
I didn't think you would.
Just tell me, did the procedure even matter? What we do, is it even relevant?
To prevent the birth, it had to be something awful. Something evil expressed in pain and rage and fury, which is why it worked. It was never a sincere attempt to formulate a scientific procedure on your part. It was just pure, unadulterated hatred wrapped in a veneer of objectivity. You thought the king had taken your brother, so you decided to hurt the king. You didn't, of course, and what you do each day, that poor little girl, is a little more than mere cruelty, but effective cruelty. The specifics are unimportant, but the intent that matters for everything.
I should stop it. I didn't.
And then what? Foundation won't get it. They will never understand the law of howling.
If I explain.
They can't imagine it. It's beyond their conception of reality. But you might. So tell me, Doctor. Do you know why the Scarlet King exists?
Because modernity and pre-mod.
No. Because the SCP Foundation exists. Modernity helped shape him, define the contours of his rage, but it was when modernity started interfering with his kingdom that he was crystallized. Modernity in the form of you. Your lot came first. You came into being and lock away, classify, pin down everything that didn't fit into your philosophy of enlightenment, rationality. Everything had to be understood, contextualized, transformed from varied godhood to simple, comprehensible chunks of logic and matter. It's abhorrent, and it could never go on forever. Something had to give. Something had to rise up in opposition.
We were first, truthfully. I know that brave you are had. Was this whole thing really our fault?
That depends. Is it your fault if you don't know you're doing it?
I don't know.
Neither do I.
The ceremonies, they all held that contrast.
The king cannot exist without that tension. We needed those symbols of modernity, those stark gray images to make the rift in the first place. It was the perfect plan.
But you failed.
Yes. There was a pause for several seconds.
A foundation was formed in the 1820s. It was formed to protect the world from the dark by a collection of brave men and women to secure, contain, protect. That is our purpose. There is a virtue in normalcy, which I don't think you can see. The world can be understood. Truth, reason, rationality. The Enlightenment. These are our bedrock. These are what have allowed us to see what is objective.
Do you really believe that?
I have to.
You're a scientist. You should know that there's no such thing as objectively true finding in any science. There's always room for doubt, always space for error.
But that's just humanity. We may have flawed minds and capable of full interpretation, but what we've observed is solid and real. Beneath it all, the laws, the bedrock.
Bedrock is defined by the number 7. 7 chains, 7 brides, 7 seals, 777. My whole life's been defined by that number. It tortures me. Endless hexagonal shapes dancing around my eyes. We're not allowed to live. We're not allowed to be people. That is the luxury of modernity. Despite its coldness and its freaking wounds, to be able to be a full person. 777. 7 girls taken away by raiders in the cold. That's the wind demon howled and howled. So the Scarlet King had to have 7 brides.
Modernity is not always cruel, cold. It's less brutal than slavery.
But what is it for? Is that the only purpose, a mere absence of brutality? What's the point of having peace and kindness for its own sake, so you can smile a few decades before falling dead into an empty grave? Self-affirmation for a finite self? I don't understand it. Never did. I grew up trying. I wanted to be like them, like you, but the system just stared down at me with contempt. Maybe it's not coldness, Doctor. Coldness seems too objective. It can't be that, because there's no objectivity. There's just screaming and the madness and the need for purpose.
Did you really think that nothing is true?
There's truth, but it's never final. There's no ultimate reality, Doctor. No totality. No concrete way in which the world is run. There's just what we make of it. The clay things we bind together and crudely making clay.
All this introspection.
The crack in the wall grows larger. The sound of screaming can be heard.
Who is in there with?
Who knows? His 7 brides, his loyal nomads, ancient servants, more creations of the gap between realities. I don't know anymore. It all breaks down in the end. All I see is anymore is the fire. I don't see the world or gods or kings. I don't see anything but the flames. What else is there? This stuff? Matter and physical, all banal and all fake? I only see the smile of my king, forge out the burning and frail matter. It's a sight that hurts. It hurts so much behind the eyes. It's burning, it's being consumed, and it's never ever finished. And why?
Then why not stop worshipping him?
I was a frail thing. I was born in the cold and the dark. I tried my hand at writing when I was very young. I tried my hand at many things, bartering, starving, surviving marketplaces of Calcutta. Like so many of us struggling to live while you Westerners grew fatter on our forgotten wealth, I grew mad. There was no meaning, no purpose in a country born to be ripped apart. I tried the gods. They were silent. I tried reason and atheism, but they were just empty and unreal. Because they were always going to be because...
Don't say it.
You have to hear it.
I don't want...
No. Listen, Robert. Just listen. You know what the Sky King is. He is a creation of swirling anomalies of so many different times all over the world. He is the memory of the world that is lost, the pre-modern world made manifest in a form of hatred for modernity, the new and humanism, smiling coldness that marks our day existence, forged for a perfect balance of irreconcilable anomalies in our breaking minds. He is an entity created by his overwhelming, unavoidable tension of the hell of the old world when faced with the cold, gray, purposeless new. He is a revenge of our fallen past. He is the idea of the ancient in the world which scars and fetishes it.
He is a tension between the modern and pre-modern made manifest.
Yes, he is a fault line between two irreconcilable worlds, and he can only, in the end, destroy them all, and that is what is right. There's another pause for several seconds.
What do we do now?
You shoot me, let them take my corpse, go back to your life. It won't last long now. The king is coming, it's inevitable. Might try to do something to stop it, but it won't work. Foundation has too much at stake, too much resting on the preservation of their ethos. They will coat the world in concrete gray, and the king will rise from the ashes, and the children won't even have to lift a finger.
I don't believe you.
Believe what you like. Come, Doctor. I think it's time. Dr. Montauk takes out his firearm and points at GOI 3172.
Just tell me one more thing. Was it you who took Jacob?
No. We had no idea who he was. Dr. Montauk terminates POI 3172. The crack disappears. Document 12. The following is a record of O5 Council Vote number 4985. Council Vote 4985. Vote to approve suggestions made by Dr. Robert Montauk on Foundation operating procedures for improved containment of 001. Proposed by O513 on May 30th, 2018. Or O52, O56, O57, O510, and O513. Against O51, O53, O58, O59, 511, O512, abstain, O54, and O55. Vote denied. Statement by O51. Dr. Montauk's investigations have been most illuminating. There are certainly raised serious concerns about how the Foundation has been operating in recent years, but we feel that his suggestions go too far. The ethos of the Foundation is comprehension. Postmodern nations of the fallibility of subjective universal truths are all very well in academic circles, but the Foundation has always been first and foremost concerned with the practicalities, based its analysis on the hard sciences and unquestionable truths. Changing our intentions and modus operandi It is frankly an absurd proposition. Our duty is and always has been to die in the dark to protect those in the light. If we begin to abandon or redefine the notion of what dark and light are, we risk a sharp descent into tyranny, incoherence, and the loss of our mission entirely. This must not happen. We cannot engage in cavalier redefinitions of what the Foundation's very essence is. We thank Dr. Montauk for his work, and we will be currently updating 001's classification as safe. As a result of it, obtaining 001 is no longer as difficult as it once was. Despite its potential danger, if Montauk's information is correct, then it seems clear to us what the Foundation should simply take a mere fair attitude towards 001's containment. We look forward to a more productive containment relationship with our oldest anomaly going forward. So, do you understand why it's safe now, Hatchet?
I mean, yes, you just read the whole thing. No shit,
Yeah.
I can understand it.
Yeah. So, yeah. Alright. So, this file, which says found not found.
May I read it?
You want to read it? Sure. Go ahead.
I watched, hidden, as their bulldozers came. Prime land wasted on trees, they said. They ripped them up, sliced their roots, took them away to be made into chairs and other monotonies? That is what it says. That's weird. Okay, I have no idea what. And other monotonies. Should I look it up?
What, monotonics?
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
Monotonics? Where the fuck did you get monotonics?
Yeah, monotonous. And unless that's a different pronunciation.
When I look in OBS, it looks like a C to me. But when I go onto here, because I had OBS open, because I was typing in chat, I didn't see that it was an E.
I'm gonna first look up how to pronounce it because.
Yeah, just.
My bad. That's my bad.
The pronunciation is apparently monotonies. What? I have to listen to a person say that.
Monotonies.
Oh, monotonies. I was mispronouncing it. It's monotonies.
Okay, so with that context, I can guess that it means things
It
that are.
means that it's
mundane.
boring.
Yeah.
It's monotonous. It's boring.
Yeah.
Chairs, tables, boring. Which I think is stupid to call boring because they're essentials. But this is the Scarlet King, so I'll go back to reading. Sorry about that pause. I just don't like it when I run into something I don't understand.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
Probably just like all the times as a small child I was mocked for like not being able to read something or understand something.
You're
I
fine.
think that's made an effect on my brain.
Mhm.
Okay. They ripped them up, sliced their roots, took them away to be made into tables, chairs, and other monotonies. Then, over weeks and months, they flattened it. They poured concrete into the rest. It was scraped, shaped, cut into neat little squares, arranged precisely in an orderly fashion. Walls rose up, great walls of concrete, windows, their measurements precisely regulated. A series of standard bricks and other parts. Construction crews, workmen, and all the rest working efficiently and precisely for a long time, filling into the details, the furnishings, and precise abstract wallpaper and everything else that went into making a facility. Finally, it was finished. One single new tree had been planted into the center of the central courtyard. Not through any sense of whimsy or delight, but to give those within a little sense of nature, of reality in the center of the gray, To keep them sane, nothing more. A precisely mandated allowance for the improvement of human mental health until they can find a way until they can find out a way to phase that out entirely. I watched and thought about it that we had done. I thought about the world they wanted. I thought about their spinelessness. I knew what good was and what evil was. I saw none of it in either of them. I thought about hollow men made of straw, plastered together with thick paste and sold in hundreds, thousand identical ways, thousand identical shops. I thought about what we had lost, and I howled at night the day before the site's grand opening. I dug up the seeds of the tree and replaced them with a seed of my own devising. And over 231 will stand a thing of blood and bone and sinew, a tree that drips and leers, feeds. It will drip strange fire, and the fire will both burn and warm in equal measure. They will look up at it and wish they had listened while they had the chance. I know this path is wrong, but at least it is a path. With thoughts and prayers, Robert Montauk, child of the Scarlet King. Oh!
Huh.
Oh! That was. Oh.
Yeah, the reason why I said was they recently, because I remember reading this back in, I think maybe 2020. This wasn't here, because look right here, July 5th, 2024. See, yeah, a lot of new shit is updated.
A lot of the new things made sense.
Mm-hmm.
And that made sense, but that was one of the new things I did not see coming.
Yeah. Also, Keelan really
Oh.
liked when I went like this. Goodbye, Doctor. Keelan liked me doing that character. Yeah, yeah. I seem to be. I can get way too into doing like creepy characters that when I do the other characters, I don't give them as much emotion, and I like. I think I gave that character too much emotion than the other than the doctor. I didn't mean to. But anyways, Robert Montauk is a child of Scarlet King now. Oh, part of the group.
It was a newer thing added to the article.
Yeah,
I
that was the
wish
newer
there
thing.
was a way to add, like, true evil. I know it doesn't fit under law, neutral, or chaotic. I mean, the idea of a true neutral. And honestly, it could stay in chaotic evil, but
No, not the brother, the doctor. The brother's
no, I'm
name is
talking about the
Jacob.
Scarlet King.
I was responding to Keelan. Keelan was asking, like, the brother was Fred Jones. We don't know what happened to them.
I tend to ignore Keelan.
Oh no! Anyways. So yeah, where are we putting this Scarlet King? Should we just make a new tier?
No,
Like, King of Evil?
nah.
Chaotic evil.
Chaotic Evil?
I was thinking more neutral evil.
Yes.
That's true. They may be chaotic, but they have their own reason to be chaotic.
Like,
I don't
like it's
agree
very
with it, but
his evil is very structured, while
Yeah.
simultaneously he exists in a very chaotic nature.
Alright, so
Yeah.
we're gonna put him at the very beginning of Neutral Evil.
Yeah.
Put you right
Oh.
there, bud. Alright. So the next one, they only have stories, but I checked them, they're very short.
It's the doctor's. Yeah, the Dr. Montauk that's been talking throughout that article became a member of the Children of the Scarlet King at the end.
Yeah.
That's a nice little way to round things out.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the updated one. The updated had so much more information and cool shit. Yeah, the Scarlet King, because we got so much information from that proposal that I don't think when we go back to go through the groups of interest that we have to go back for Scarlet King, because we got a shit ton of information.
Well, yeah.
The others, sometimes we didn't get as much information. Yeah, anyways. Alright, the next one is Stackers, an odd, whimsical little bar with an open mic night on Thursdays. Not much of a GOI, but a mere setting where the magical and bizarre elements of the world come for a drink. Open mic nights on Thursdays starting at 10 p.m.
Okay. It's why are we just sitting here in silence?
Alright, sorry.
It doesn't have any SE. The stackers don't.
Yeah, but anyways. Yeah, but like I said, it's like super. This is literally the longest one. The other ones are shorter. Should we do the shorter ones or the longest one first?
I don't know.
Since I read majority of that proposal, do you want to read this one, Jerry?
Okay.
Because I did a lot of reading. Wait, I just realized from pretty much that article, my dyslexia didn't kick in. Like I didn't mispronounce words, but like say a different word instead of word that was presented, like I usually do.
Yeah.
Fuck
I mean,
yeah!
there was a lot of mispronunciations that I just didn't give enough of a shit to correct you on.
But yeah, I did pretty good for my dyslexia.
Yeah, you did.
Anyways, whenever you're ready, Jerry.
Luke Brockett fell into his knees into the rough gravel road, watching with watery eyes as the group of blue-hatted movers carried numerous things, bar stools, tables, even a refrigerator, out of the second wind bar. What the hell? He thought, bringing his hand up to his eyes as a one-sided conversation blared in his mind. You're just gone? That's how you go? No, 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 you couldn't have. He shook his head and rose, walking in front of one of the workers, who quickly stopped, almost dropping the cardboard box in his hands. What happened? I don't think that I can. The mover looked up, grimacing as he made eye contact with the quivering Luke. The owner died suddenly, left everything to his sister, and she's selling the property, so Luke simply stared for a moment before turning around, his fingers curling into fists. Every step he took felt fatally heavy as he walked for what seemed like hours, eventually arriving in his apartment. He flung the door open, leaving lights off as he went directly to his bed, curling up under a heavy blanket. I don't even get a warning. Just like that, huh? You said you were gonna stay. I just wanted you to. A soft giggle pried open his lips, and a tear leaked from his eye. God, I. Suddenly, a brisk chill swept through his body, causing his hair to stand on end. Then he felt a familiar warmth from beneath him, like a toasty fire, but it quickly faded. He sat up, looking behind him to see a glimmering strip of Gold paper rested on the brown hardwood. Luke wiped his eyes on a blanket, stepping out of bed, grabbing the paper. Press here for one-time access to Stacker's Coffee House and Bar. Suddenly, a red button popped out of the ticket, and Luke dropped it with a surprised gasp. What is this thing? Stackers? He backed away, his eyes drifting to his phone. I shouldn't mess with it. Maybe I could. His eyes were pulled back to the glistening ticket. Well, it's not like it'll actually do anything. He crouched down, pressed the button, and then blacked out. But why me? Seawind laughed. Next time you're up there, look at the crowd. He showed his signature warm smile. That's your answer. I'm sorry for giving a man a lady's voice. Hi, you up? Luke shot awake, almost falling from the bar stool he was sat on. Huh? What? Bartender on the side giggled. First time, eh? Don't worry. You'll get the hang of the transition eventually. She stretched her gloved hand over the bar, which Luke hesitantly shook. Name's Lillian. I'm Luke. He pulled his hand away, instead of using it to pivot the bar stool seat around as he inspected his surroundings. The room was giant, almost the size of a gymnasium. It was filled with numerous shiny black tables surrounded by matching leather chairs where dozens of people sat. Each individual was unique and distinctive, but something was different about some of them. They seemed a little green. He looked back to Lillian just in time to see her pull off her gloves with a rubber snap. I think I know what you're thinking. What? What? She reached forward and put her arm straight through Luke's head. Ah! Luke stumbled back in his chair, almost falling over as he felt chill shiver throughout his body. Lillian simply chuckled, pulling her hand back. I always love doing that. She grinned as she snapped her gloves back on. People are so surprised. Luke gulped, his eyes wide as he quivered. How? I'm a ghost, dummy, she exclaimed. I'm dead. Well, kind of. Luke rubbed his eyes, looking back to see a blue drink in front of him, topped with a mini umbrella. It's on me, Lillian said. Just give it a try. Trust me. Luke hesitated, but feeling how dry his mouth was due to his endless nervousness, he decided to take a short sip, and memories began to flash. The audience before him cheered as he sang the last few notes of his song, finished as they erupted with clapping. Luke grinned as he looked down into the crowd, their faces as smiley and excited. A warm yet somewhat weary feeling grew in his heart as he walked backstage, where his manager sat, her legs crossed. You've got another performance tomorrow, she said. Relax your voice a bit, or else you'll lose it. The wearying feeling tugged at his heart once more. His manager glared down at him, stating, It's time to renew our contract. Luke thought about it for a moment before staring into her eyes with a confident, No. Luke, you know that you won't. I'm not renewing it. Why? She asked, but it was more of a grumble. Luke had to hold himself back from screaming. I don't even know any of my fans. I don't have any friends either. That's mostly because you're so controlling. I'm the reason you got so far. He took a deep breath before saying for the last time, No. Muttering something, his manager left. It felt like a weight off his shoulders, for the weary feeling was gone. Luke looked up from his drink at the second wind bar to see a rather gray old man on the bar's tiny stage, speaking into a microphone. Are you folks ready for karaoke tonight? Ready for some singing? The other bar-goers cheered, and Luke watched them curiously. Who's gonna be first tonight? Luke hesitated, but raised his hand. After karaoke night died down, Luke took his seat at the bar once more. You were pretty great up there. Oh, I did the Lillian's voice for the old man. Okay. The old man said as he took a seat next to Luke. Luke, right? People call me Seawind. Nice to meet you. Luke took a sip of his water, thinking before setting his cup back down. You're the owner of this place, right? Yep, and I have a little proposition. Luke peeked over at Seawind. I want to hire you just to clean a little, perhaps a bit of bartendering, but most importantly, I'm going to hear you sing some more. Your voice is wondrous. Oh, thanks. Luke's face grew red as he looked down, gripping his cup. But why me? Seawind laughed. Next time you're up there, look at the crowd. He showed his signature warm smile. That's your answer. What was that? Luke said as his memories faded from his thoughts. It was like... Lillian laughed, taking the blue drink away from him. Like you were reliving your memory. Like you were reliving the moment, right? That was so strange, but also pretty nice. It's one of our signature drinks. We call it the Remembrance Brew. Kind of like of a dumb name, but it fits. Wait, why'd you take it away? We only let people drink until it takes effect. Any more and your brain goes kaput. Oh, how does that work? I don't know, she shrugged. An overload of emotions or something? Huh, fun. It really isn't, Lillian said, leaning forward. So, you all good? A-okay? Yeah, it's just a little confused. Still, how are you a ghost? Some people are just too stubborn to die. She smiled and walked further down the bar to help other customers as Luke groaned and sat in silence, thinking, when suddenly someone sat on the bar stool next to him. Hey there, Luke. He looked over and swelled up with tears when he saw the old Seawind, even though he had a hue of green covering his skin. Sorry we can't hug. Ghost stuff. I think there's some way we could, but... Luke patted his eyes with his sleeve, sniffling. You're here. Your sister closed the bar. I knew that was gonna happen, Seawind shrugged. That's why I brought you here. You gave me the ticket? Yep, I passed straight through you. I'm surprised you didn't notice. Oh, Luke fidgeted with a loose thread of his sweatshirt nervously twirling around his finger. So, what is this place? Dacca's Coffee House and Bar. It's pretty neat. You'll like it. We've got... Wait. Wait for what? Suddenly a voice rang through the room, interrupting him as the lights dimmed, leaving the stage behind Luke illuminated. It's time for open mic night. Come up. Oh, that's a person. It's time for open mic night. Come up. All voices are welcome. pat you on the back, but I don't have any of those gloves that let me touch things. Seawind grinned, stretching his neck. But you should go on. Offer them something. They'll accept it. Bring out your true voice. Show them who you are. What makes you, well, you. Luke thought for a moment. He stood up, feeling confident, fire burning inside his heart. Okay, I can do this. Seawind simply looked on proudly as Luke marched up on the stage. Open mic night at Stacker's Thursday, 10 p.m. Luke stepped up on stage, breathing deeply in order to relax his pounding heart. He takes the microphone off its stand, clearing his dry throat. Offer this tale in my own. Years before now, a man sang to the stars as he searched for a place he could fit in apart. From all that was around him, he was overrun, decided that he was just done. He considered the pathways that were all laid out, but all of his choices were clouded with doubt. A tug at his heart pulled him straight to a bar, where he sat and he drank, cramping under the stars, until in an event he could not understand, he was suddenly reminded of his dear plan. I wish I was a star, he thought, but then again, not really. Of course, he'd already decided. He really seemed quite silly. Finally, he made a choice. He found a place to stay. But suddenly his plan broke down. It all went astray. So he simply ran away with the help of a friend. He found his way here. I won't just disappear. The audience bursts out in a brief applause. The lost wanderer steps off the stage. He smiles once again. Till next week. That was wonderful, Luke, Seawind said. Luke blushed. Thank you, but I have to leave, though, so how do I get out? Ah, Seawind made eye contact with Lily and waved her over. What do you need? She asked, pulling her gloves on. Luke's leaving. All right, then here you go. She passed over 2 tickets, one gray and one gold. Just click the gray one to leave. All right. His finger hovered over the gray's ticket exit button, but was stopped by Seawind. And come back sometime, eh? Luke looked over with a sweet smile. Of course I will, he said, and clicked the gray button, disappearing to the real world as he Seawind and Lillian wave him goodbye. When he opened his eyes, he was sprawled on his bed, the golden ticket grasped in his hand. He looked down and held it close to his chest, the warm feeling filling his quivering heart once more. I can go back tomorrow, he thought. I think I'll be okay. I think I understand what Stackers is.
Oh. Okay, so do you understand enough to list it, or?
Yeah.
Okay, before we do that, I want to click on this one, because someone actually sings it, or says it.
Well, then you're the one. Oh, I guess you're not going to read it because it's going to be sung.
Yeah. So, alright. So this is the boat is sinking. Open mic night at Snackers Thursdays, 10 o'clock. The world is drowning and the flooded stage beckons. A sailor comes forth from a keel. No one is listening, yet here you are. Enjoy this wintry spiel. I offer this rhyme to this deluge of mine. Alright, is everyone ready?
Yeah. Hatchet, are you ready?
Yeah.
Alright. In 3, 2, 1.
The boat is sinking. The boat is sinking. Group yourselves into 6. Side by side and hand in hand, you'll jump into the sticks. The boat is sinking. The boat is sinking. Group yourselves into 5. Father, mother, sister, brother, and death all ready to dive. The boat is sinking, the boat is sinking. Group yourselves into 4. Each face east, west, south, and north. Each will never see shore. The boat is sinking, the boat is sinking. Group yourselves into 3. 1 for rowing, 1 for towing, 1 to toss in the sea. The boat is sinking, the boat is sinking. Group yourselves into 2. Be partners or be nemesis beneath the deep of blue. The boat is sinking, the boat is sinking. Group yourself into 1. Pull the ships from the ocean floor to sink once more in the sun.
The world is quiet, no specter, no flood. The bar fixes up for the night. The smell of caffeine and alcohol linger through the light. Till next week. Alright. So you said we're ready to rate this one?
I'm ready to rate it.
Hatchet?
I guess.
Alright, so where are we putting it? I don't think it's evil.
Well, first we should talk about what it is. Does everyone here understand what it is?
It's pretty much a bar for the anomalous.
No. It's a bar for the dead.
Yeah.
Others can also visit, but it's basically a bar for the dead. The living can be invited by the dead,
Yeah.
but it is essentially a bar for the dead. And it's a place where you can remember old things.
Gotcha. So I don't. So it'd probably be within the good categories.
Yeah. I'll admit, the first story, because of that bar, that one guy got, he got to basically say goodbye to his friend, and he gets to see him again.
Uh-huh.
But where do we put it in the good category?
I feel like that's less a good thing and more a neutral thing.
Neutral.
Maybe
Or not a
true
neutral.
neutral, or
Yeah, neutral. I don't know. My head is killing me.
I guess true neutral, yeah, it makes sense.
lawful neutral.
Mm,
I mean, there's nothing particularly chaotic or lawful about it. It's just a bar.
yeah. Alright.
It's just the third place.
Just a ghost bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. Now we're gonna go on to... We only have 2 left. We're almost done. Alright. So the next one is Sugarcone Confectionery. An anomalous candy company, though often these sweets are made with and do less than sanitary or safe things for their customers, seem to be self-aware of their horrid products. Oh. Alright, so 1459. Why? Oh, no. 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 No, 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 no.
We're not reading that one, right?
This is the puppy claw machine!
We're not reading it.
They made the puppy claw machine!
I have no idea what y'all are talking about.
Basically,
The puppy claw machine.
to put it simply, Hatchet, when you go to it, there's a puppy in there. Basically, you put in how you want it to die, and the puppy machine will kill it, then give you a cookie. And one person did put in, like, to save it, and it gave the worst tasting cookie imaginable. So if you want a good cookie, you have to kill it in the most egregious way possible.
So you're just telling me this instead of reading it? No.
Yeah. Well, I don't think Jerry wants me to reread it.
I don't want to reread. I
That's why I was giving you the letdown. I just immediately remember it when we used to do the Laffy thing.
Yeah, in the Laffy games, we had to confront the claw machine.
Yeah, I remember that.
The claw machine that does horrible things to the puppy.
Alright. Alright, let's do this instead. Alright. Anyways. Item SCP-1921, Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-1921 is to be kept in a secure storage vault in Wing 6D of Storage Site 49. Copies of 1621-B2 should remain locked in a climate-controlled storage locker of Wing 4B of the same facility. B-2 is not to be allowed in the vicinity of 1921 without written permission from the consent of head researcher. Description: 1921 is a mobile kiosk designed for the production and sale of cotton candy. The exterior is decorated with the painted panels of intricately carved wood, including an arch sign bearing the words, "Cotton Candy, free with admission." Traces of fire and smoke damage are visible on the kiosk's exterior. 1921 has 5 primary components that display anomalous properties when used in conjunction with each other. -A1 is a non-anomalous sugar spinning device. It's located in front of the kiosk. It's identical to commercially available machines of the same nature, with the exception of a small pump connected to a reservoir at the bottom of the kiosk. A label located at the bottom of the machine gives the non-existent company Sugar Cone Confections as the name of the manufacturer. -A2 is any cotton candy produced from A1 when A3 is present inside the machine's reservoir. A2 is consistently black in color, even if food dyes are added to the sugar. When A2 comes in contact with human saliva, it contracts and shrinks in size until it is undetectable to the person who consumed it. Once inside the subject's digestive system, A2 will expand 3 times its original size, filling much of the subject's digestive tract. It will then start integrating itself into the subject's central nervous system, primarily accumulating in and around the subject's brain. This process typically goes unnoticed by affected subjects, although several individuals have stated that they felt a slight tickling sensation. A3 is a black, highly viscous liquid of unknown composition. It was originally discovered underneath A1 in a small tank labeled Clown Milk. When a subject consumes A3 in its pure form, the subject's serotonin levels will immediately increase to the point of cardiac arrest, invariably resulting in death. Serotonin is a monoamine neurotransmitter believed to be linked with feelings of happiness. B1 is a pneumatic, self-playing 32-key Calio located at the back of 1921. Music produced by the instrument is not exceptionally loud. However, witnesses have reported being able to hear B1's music up to 1.2 kilometers away. An object displays no additional anomalous effects unless it is turned on while an instance of B2... What? Did you say something?
My mic is literally muted.
Oh, I thought yours.
Are
God
you
damn it.
okay?
No. Anyways, B2 is present in its inner compartment.
I think after this group of interest, we should end it because I'm starting to hear fireworks.
We should end it with this group of interest.
There's only one more
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
after this.
Yeah.
Oh, it's only one group of interest after?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only one more.
Oh, then I guess let's keep going.
Yeah. B2 is a collection of 11 rolls of perforated paper. When a roll is inserted to B1, the arrangement of the holes in the paper will allow the instrument to play a song. Each instance of B2 is a different song assigned to it. the name of which is printed at the top of the roll. Many of the rolls bear handwritten notes beneath the title of the song. Whenever a roll of B2 is played using B1, while written roughly 1.2 kilometers above a subject who has consumed A2, the subject's cognitive abilities will be anomalously altered. The exact nature of this effect depends on the roll of music being played. 1921 was discovered in a fairground of Carlisle, Pennsylvania, along with a number of non-anomalous artifacts that bore similar fire damage. Among the other recovered items were several painted signs advertising Herman Fuller's Circus of Disquieting. Oh no. Foundation forensics teams have theorized that a large group of people left the site in a hurry and attempted to burn everything they had to leave. The team also determined that the fire had been started less than 4 hours before the arrival of Foundation personnel. 6 bodies, severely damaged by the fire, were found and stacked in a particularly destroyed circus tent. Investigations are ongoing. Addendum 1921-B2. The following is a list of known instances of B2 presented with the title of the song played, song's effect on subjects who has consumed A2, and a note written on the instance. B2-1. The Skater's Waltz. Subject will not consider anomalous phenomena to be out of the ordinary. Note main. B2-02. When you're smiling. Subjects experience increased levels of serotonin and dopamine. When interviewed, affected subjects have displayed an inability to concentrate on topics that they find unpleasant. Note, a crude drawing of a smiling face is presented in place of text. B2-03. Officer of the Year. Subjects are unable to perceive the actions of others as unlawful. Note for Congress. I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting that. B2-04. Doodle-dee-doo. Subject's ability to feel a sense of personal endangerment is suppressed, in case anyone catches on. B2-05. Walking Happy. A state of extreme euphoria is induced for the duration of the song, often incapacitating affected subjects. Note, not for personal use. B2-06. Hail, hail, the gang's all here. All affected subjects within 1921-B1's range of effect will congregate. Testing has shown that such subjects prefer to gather at the brightest visible light source. When the questioned subjects will adamantly maintain that they've gathered on their own volition, but will often be unable to find a reason for this behavior. Note, before showtime. B2.
Sorry, I think I'm gonna have to the chat because it's getting to the point where some fireworks are basically higher than everyone's voices.
Ah. Damn.
I'm sorry.
And should we stay the last two for next week?
We can.
Yeah.
You and Hatchet can do them tonight.
You
Well,
sure?
I mean,
I would love to be involved. We're so close to being finished, and literally the only thing like stopping me from being involved is literal fireworks.
Fuck America. Anyways. Yeah, we can do it next week. So I'd rather you be
Oh,
here.
alright.
So I think before we go, I think I will say what the next final group is. The final group is YWTGTHFT, a bizarre organization that manufactures rather sadistic products and media. The name means you will totally go to hell for this, or yeah, we're totally going to hell for this. Very self-aware.
okay.
Yeah, anyways. Before you go, Jerry, do you have any last words?
I'm slightly angry at fireworks.
Fair enough.
I don't know what to say. Why are they so fucking loud? I know.
Yeah.
People like booms.
Anyways, time to raid Hatchet.
What?
Hatchet's not even streaming.
Yet.
Are you planning to stream Hatchet?
No.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I think I felt the house shake.
You good?
Yeah, that
Okay.
wasn't too close, I think. It was just, well, you heard it.
Yeah.
This is the shit I've been having. See? Do you think I can hear you over that?
No.
I'm gonna mute myself.
Yeah, anyways. Yeah, I already found it person I want to raid. So anyways, Danger Noddles, I hope you enjoyed. We are very close to ending it. I think if the Scarlet King was shorter, we would have been able to. Oh, and they just ended stream. Well, that's great.
I guess you have to pick someone that is still streaming.
Yeah.
And I should mute myself again so there's no loud bang.
Yeah, anyways. See you guys next time for your next mission. And, yeah, next Thursday, so it won't be a Friday, but next Thursday we'll finish it. Hopefully. And, yeah, love how, yeah, anyways, okay, so let me put the person's name in before I do this thing I did that was stupid last time. I know Jerry will be happy with joining me for stream tomorrow, because it'll be Power World Saturday and Sunday.
I do love Pal World.
Yeah. And so you get to see Meemog.
Meemog is precious.
Anyways, Dangerous. Yeah, so... Yeah, don't have much else to say. Be kind to the streamer, annoy Hatchet, I guess, I don't know. I'm tired.
Why annoy Hatchet?
Because I always annoy Hatchet.
Right.
I'm not wrong.
Right.
As well as one more thing to do, as I always do now.
Onita, I have a date.